This is a TV20 News Break. I'm Dan Monroe. Thanks for watching, and here's what's happening. The NFL draft has come and gone, and it was a huge success. But did you know that NFL did more in Cleveland than what happened just in the North Coast Harbor? Students at William Rainey Harper Elementary School are getting a new community garden, and it's all thanks to the NFL.
So today we're building our first community garden here. We have been partnering with Cal Sprouts through OSU and NFL Green in creating our Legacy Garden project. So we have family members here, scholars here, staff members here, and we're actually building everything from the ground up.
With help from the students, the gardens, sheds, fencing, mulch, flowers, and vegetables were installed thanks to the NFL's environmental program. Jack Rowe, director of the program, says the NFL works to increase awareness of green initiatives.
Well, 28 years ago, if you can believe it's been that long, the NFL decided to look at the environmental impact of its big mega events like Super Bowl and Pro Bowl. And we became the first professional sports organization to ever consider that. So we started looking at how do we impact the environment. We looked at things like solid waste. We looked at things like energy emissions. We started to look at things like material that's left over from the events. And we started to develop programs to address that. And then after several years, maybe about 15 years ago, we started looking at how can we use the environment to make a positive community impact. So it's resulted in this great community greening program where we build community gardens, we do tree plantings, we do pollinator gardens, and we also look at native habitat restoration. So that's where all of this has sprung from.
William Rainey Harper School principal, Dr. Ajay Manel, says the garden will serve as an important learning tool for his students for years to come.
It's important twofold. One, because this is a skill that they can take with them as they get older. When they get to high school, when they get to college, when they get into their careers, what they're learning today is going to stick with them throughout life. But also, we are an IB school. We're on the way to becoming an authorized IB school. And part of that is making sure that our scholars understand what it is to be a part of the work, to be a part of solving problems, to be a part of community help, and thinking outside of themselves. So we're working on building globally minded scholars. So for them to be here and be a part of this work from the inception is vital to what we do here as an Ivy candidacy school.
During the morning, multiple projects took place to make the community garden a reality.
Well, in the center here, they're putting in a garden. There was already an existing area right there, so they're putting in all new plants there. And then around the perimeter of this whole area, there's new garden beds going in, including a garden bed that's ADA accessible. That's a raised garden bed where somebody, for instance, in a wheelchair can easily reach the garden and do, and work with the plants there. So once this is all completed, there'll also be a pollinator garden along the edge there. So that sort of closes the loop here, because without pollinators, these plants aren't going to grow very well. So the school and, in partnership with OSU and Summer Sprout, really thought through what needs to happen here for this to be a successful garden.
Wow, such a beautiful garden. Dr. Manel says each class will adopt a garden and will take care of it and maintain it during the school year, with the community stepping in to help when needed. Now, to kick off the 2021 draft week, the NFL teamed up with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank for their weekly food distribution in the City of Cleveland's Muni Lot.
So when we started doing these drive-through distributions in the Muni Lot a year ago, I never would have imagined that we'd still be here a week later. But the fact is, the need is still high for emergency food. There are still so many families who haven't been able to go back to work or who've had their hours cut and are still struggling. And so, today we're expecting to serve more than 2,000 families. And over the course of the last year, being here every single week, we've served more than 90,000 different people, almost a quarter of the total people served. So this has been a really important opportunity to reach a lot of people with emergency food.
Each family or individual received fresh produce and shelf-stable food. In addition to the boxes the food bank provides each week, everyone also received cans of soup from the official soup sponsor of the NFL, Campbell's.
The NFL and the Browns, we're excited to be here to support the work that they're doing. Obviously, due to the pandemic, more and more people are in need of food every day. So we were coming here for the draft, and we knew we wanted to make an impact and, a great organization to do so. So the NFL Foundation is excited to be giving $35,000 to the food bank to continue doing the great work that you see here today. 1 in 8 people and 1 in 6 children need food every night in America. And, we're handing out meals today. The food bank does an incredible job doing this every week. We hope that the pandemic is easing and we're headed to a place where people won't be searching for food as much. But the reality is, while they are, we need to be here. We need to be in the community with the Browns and helping the food bank here.
Just $1 can provide 4 meals. So the NFL's $35,000 donation will provide up to 140,000 meals for Clevelanders in need. Speaking of the Cleveland Food Bank, did you know they are expanding? Ceremonial ground was recently broken at their new expansion site off of Coit Road in the Collinwood neighborhood. Food Bank President and CEO Kristen Rzoka said this new building will give them some much needed space.
Over the years, as we've worked to serve more people every year and provide more food, we have run out of space in our current facility. And the fact is, the pandemic has only made the community need for food more urgent. And so today, we marked an important milestone. We're building a food distribution center here on Coit Road, 197,000 square foot facility, which will allow us to distribute tens of millions more pounds of food every year to our community. Once that's created, we will begin renovation of our current facility and turn it into a client service center on South Waterloo.
Ward 8 Councilman Mike Polensek, excited about the expansion, didn't think it would happen as quick as it did. He credits the speediness to numerous people who simply care.
The stars aligned. The stars aligned is because, again, the DiGiorno family, all the people who were here, the donors, the foundations, the individuals. I can't say enough. I'm so honored today, not only to represent Cleveland's 8th Ward here, but as a member of City Council and as a Clevelander, that there are so many people that still care about doing good and helping folks. They didn't have to do this. They could be writing checks for something else, but they realize the need. The need is tremendous.
Rzoka said the new facility will come with a need for more volunteers and eventually more staffing.
So once this facility is up and constructed and we begin using it as our primary food distribution center, and we start distributing more food, even more food than we're distributing today, we will of course have the need for additional volunteers to help us, and over time more staff to help us. Over a 10-year period, we believe we'll be adding 64 more jobs. They're great jobs. We're proud to be a wonderful employer with a $15 per hour minimum, and we look forward to having even more volunteers involved in our work as well.
If you would like more information on the services offered by the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, or if you're curious about volunteer opportunities, visit their website at clevelandfoodbank.org. Now, most people take the simple things like computers and Wi-Fi for granted, but an estimated amount of 50,000 Cleveland households don't have the access to this technology. To help close the digital divide, the NFL and Cisco partnered to bring much-needed upgrades to the Cleveland Public Library and the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland.
Inspire Change is our social justice campaign, and it's really about breaking down barriers to opportunity. We know that the pandemic exacerbated an existing problem where kids don't have access to either the technology that they need or the connectivity that they need in many places across the country. And so bringing that work here to Cleveland was really important for us as we came here for the draft.
This is a great day for us. With our partners at Legal Aid Society to receive this gift of $150,000, $75,000 to Legal Aid, $75,000 to the library. Sometimes people don't realize that Cleveland is the 4th least connected city in the nation. And there are wide swaths of the city where no one has any connection to the internet. And so libraries are the one last place, and we'd rather not be the one last place for folks. We'd rather them be able to have access in their house, and if they need technology help, they can always come to the library. But they shouldn't just be able to come to the library for an hour or 2 hours and be able to get access. They should be able to have it 24/7.
Yeah, this support from the NFL and Cisco is tremendous. It will enable us to grow our partnership with the Cleveland Public Library. So this grant from Cisco and the NFL will enable the library to put in Zoom rooms into their libraries so that our clients can come and talk to their lawyer, get assistance, participate in virtual hearings, and we can ensure access to justice.
This $150,000 donation will leave a lasting impact on the Cleveland community long after the final name in the 2021 draft is called.
And I'm proud to be part of the NFL and them doing that. I'm proud of the fact that they see a need and are diving in. I mean, we all do philanthropy work. We all do something in the form that we want to help kids and things like that. But this specifically, considering with COVID and how this took place with everybody not having access, whether it be Wi-Fi at home or even having a computer or whatever, it may be a printer at home, having access to this, giving up programs like this, getting them that access can help, again, as we talked about, narrow that gap just a little bit more.
Well, what a great collaboration between the NFL, Cisco, and the Cleveland Public Library. Just fantastic. And finally, the Cleveland Municipal Court's Community Orientation Program, or COP, honored former CPD Commander Deon McCauley for his service in educating individuals convicted of offenses resulting in negative interactions with police. For 14 years, McCauley taught the rights and responsibilities of citizens when stopped by police, and Cleveland Municipal Court Judge Lauren Moore thanked him for making the COP program so successful.
Mr. McCauley has been very good doing our COP program, and he is moving on to greener pastures, and so we would like to honor him and how he has made our program so successful.
McCauley has taken a job as chief of the Cleveland Clinic Police Department, and so he'll be stepping down in his role with the COP program. McCauley hopes that what he taught had a message that spread outside of the classroom.
One of the things that we've achieved is just the conversation that needs to take place in order to create a better relationship between the public and the police. And through conversation, we can come to an understanding of what's expected between one another. I've received feedback from time to time from participants that have gone through the program and come back and say, hey, I had never seen it from that perspective, but now I have a new understanding. And what I leave them with is to ask them to go back and share that with others so that we can extend beyond the 50 or so participants in the class, and we can reach out to the community and have them to have that information as well.
With McCauley's departure, Cleveland Police Sergeant Reginald Lanton will be taking over as commander of the COP program. Everyone here at TV20 would like to thank Chief McCauley for his service at the Cleveland Police Department and congratulate him on his new role at the Cleveland Clinic. TV20 is streaming live 24/7. Visit TV20cleveland.com to see our live feed and more. Stay connected with TV20 wherever you go by liking and following us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to watch our numerous programs. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.